Hi, it's Molly. Welcome back to my channel. As I wanted to discuss the energy of Venus stationing retrograde, which occurs on July 22nd, 2023, where she is at 28 degrees of Leo. And here's the S, which stands for station. So this is where she stations retrograde. She will journey back to 12 degrees of Leo, where she will station direct September 4th. So the Venus retrograde lasts for 40 days and 40 nights. And in this particular station, she's receiving a lot of energy. And I wanted to go through this with you because it's part of what her retrograde journey is going to encompass. Now, Venus in Leo is strong, confident. She is self-aware. She wants to present herself, shine her gifts and her light. She has leadership qualities. She is strong. She is able to handle quite a bit. So this Venus retrograde is actually something that can strengthen the Venus in Leo experience. But let's take a look at what she is connecting with and receiving. Now, Venus in Leo, Leo being a fire sign, is trining the North Node that has just entered Aries at 29 degrees of Aries. And so this is going to be an energy of developing greater understanding into who you are and what you need now. Because Aries is a fire sign and Leo is a fire sign, there's a natural synergy here that connects. And this is where the Venus energy actually is going to feel the easiest flow because they're both fire signs. And because the North Node just entered Aries for the first time in 19 years, there's something to ponder and consider. Now, Venus is sitting, right? She's stationary. She's standing still here. This means that she has the greater ability to connect with who she is now, what she wants, what she needs. Leo is the energy of receiving as well, whether that is receiving recognition, receiving attention, being comfortable, being seen for who you are, the courage to be who you are. And yet here is this Venus working with the North Node that is encouraging her to trust who she is now and to look at what is beginning. What does she want to begin? What does she want to unfold? She is going to connect with the North Node again. And so this is the first of two exact or nearly exact trines to the North Node in Aries. And this is encouraging her to set her sights on what's next. That means that she's also working with the South Node in Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus. So she's also having some understandings here of what no longer supports her, what no longer works for her, what she is learning from, because the South Node is not only what's completing, releasing, and ending, but it's where we also learn. We learn about ourselves and what worked and what didn't work. So she's learning from past relationships here. She's learning from what she was involved in, what was healthy, what was not. There can be a reflective energy here with the South Node in Libra. And she's also learning how she has shown up with an authenticity and connection to what she needs in partnerships, in relationships. So I feel like this Venus, as she's stationed, is pondering her future directions and what she's learned through other people. So Libra is not only connections and partnerships, it's also disagreements. It's where things are not in balance. It's where there were times when you weren't on the same page, you wanted different things, you went in different directions. It's where the energy also can show you more of what you need that you don't want to compromise, because Libra can compromise, but to a default. almost like I'll do anything to keep the relationship or to make someone happy or to make this a success. I can stuff away my needs in order to create a win-win, which is not truly a win-win if you're not aware of what you need and what you want. So I feel like this is something that is just coming up for Venus because, again, the nodes just moved into the Libra Aries axis the week before she stationed retrograde. So she has new things going on that she's aware of and that she's directing her energy towards. However, there's some other things going on here that are really important to be aware of, and that's also why I wanted to do this video, because she is experiencing a yod. A yod is also known as a finger of God, and she's receiving this energy from Pluto at 29 degrees Capricorn and Neptune at 27 degrees of Pisces, both retrograde, as she stations retrograde. And these are important energies here. Now, I do want to mention that every planet that moves through Leo is going to have this yod. And so next we will see Mercury enter into the yod. The sun will as well. So this yod is important for how the Leo energies are being reprogrammed and expanded. But specifically for Venus, here's what I've been getting, like intuitively receiving. Her last retrograde in late 2021 and 2022 was in Capricorn. And she was conjunct this Pluto in Capricorn a few times during that last retrograde. So this Pluto in Capricorn had a big impact on her last retrograde. And there were things there that she was learning about her personal integrity, her self-respect, her ability to do what she wants to do in the world, to feel her power, to be in her authority. Now, this Pluto in Capricorn, creating part of this finger of God, and this aspect is called an inconjunct. So there's a tension here, there's a discomfort. They're very different energies, right? Capricorn and Leo are very different in terms of how they go about things, how they plan, what their priorities are, what their intentions are. But here we have this Pluto signaling to Venus in Leo, don't forget what you learned about the last time this Venus was conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. Remember the long term. Remember your purpose. Remember what will serve you going forward. Remember the bigger picture. And also, what are your plans? I feel like this Pluto is reminding Venus of where she's been, what she had to powerfully transform in herself, whether that was through her self-worth, her creativity, her finances. So basically, we're going back to late 2021, early 2022, and Pluto is holding court. Now, we know that Pluto was already in Aquarius this year, came back here into Capricorn, and will revisit 29 degrees of Capricorn in late 2024 as well. So this degree point is not complete for Pluto, but he's sending a powerful message to remind Venus of what she's been through, that I feel it as like transformed her heart, brought her into more of her needs. So Pluto is communicating to Venus about where she's been and what the Capricorn energies wanted to instill in her to take forward and to not forget. This is the bigger picture. This is essentially remembering where you're going. And I feel like this Venus in Leo being fiery, inspired, impulsive, creative. She's getting zapped with this energy from Pluto in Capricorn that now she's like, okay, right, remember what I learned about myself, my heart, relationships, what I need, my self-worth, and the ability to trust that the universe is going to show up for me. Make sure that's part of what she is integrating. Then we have this Neptune in Pisces retrograde talking to her. And this is the energy of what she's learned through relationships across all lifetimes and timelines. And Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. So there is a nice energy that exists between Venus and Neptune. And Neptune in Pisces can be the spiritual lessons, the karmic relationships, the unconscious patterns that she's been involved in across lifetimes. And so here we have this Neptune shining its energy directly at this Venus in Leo. This energy is softer, it's more intuitive, it's receptive. And she can forget that because she's in a very powerful, dominating Leo energy that really supports her sense of self. So it's almost like this is understanding, I'm going to say your heart, how you feel love and loved, starting with yourself, how you love yourself, how you accept yourself, and what that looks like for you, especially what you need to receive, what feels loving, what gives you confidence, what lights you up. And here is Neptune saying, remember what your soul has been healing and moving through in this lifetime. And make sure that you're not too much in your ego. Leo is masculine as well, and it's a fixed sign. So this is where the Neptune in Pisces actually wants to soften the heart. Soften it so that it can receive. Soften it to yourself. Remember what you've been through, what you've had to navigate, especially through your intuition. I feel like there's something here around the karmic relationships that have shaped us or shaped you, the karmic relationships that were beautiful teachers of energy, of choices, of what you want in life. And then we have the Pluto energy that wants you to be in your power, in your truth, that wants you to stand strong in what you know is necessary for you in this lifetime. So both of these are powerful energies. I mean, these are the two most outer planets of our solar system. They move the slowest, and they have a very big impact on all the personal planets, but now they're both communicating to this Venus. And this is where I feel the energy of the heart being recoded and reprogrammed. This is where I feel the energy of what you understand about who you are, what you need, what you want. I see it rising above the immediacy of the ego, the immediacy of right now. I feel this Venus and Leo elevating to higher consciousness that is probably really uncomfortable, because this is a finger of God that creates something in us that is otherworldly. And so she's feeling the vibrations and frequencies of Neptune and Pluto, even while she has her sights set on the North Node and she's learning from the South Node. There's something important here that you're meant to stop and listen to. Review it. Look at where you've been. Look at what you've learned. The hard knocks, this is turmoil too. Pluto is not easy. He's not an easy character. He wants us to go deep. He wants you to remember where you've been. I feel like this finger of God, this yod, is reprogramming Venus and Leo during her journey, during her retrograde journey, reprogramming her with higher consciousness about what her heart has been through, what she has lived through, what she doesn't want to repeat. And here she is slowing down to integrate that. And I feel it as a new heart algorithm. And I did talk about this on my recent Wednesday podcast. That's also why I felt inspired to do this video, because I was getting so much energy around heart algorithm, reprogramming what you want, what you need, really being honest with yourself, really like brutally honest, right? Like that's what this Pluto and Capricorn wants. And Capricorn, you know, no frills. It's like, be honest. That didn't work. That didn't work. And then Neptune is like, but you learned from it, right? You gained some things, you understood the energetics, the lesson, how it could support you spiritually. And I just feel like both of these power players are speaking to this Venus and telling her, you can have more, you can have better, you can elevate. That is your power. That is what is being reprogrammed here. If you choose it, if you want to, right? It's all about what your free will agrees to. But there's something where this Venus and Leo, I feel like this retrograde is changing her permanently. I feel like there's something that she is understanding, something she's learned from. And with these big energies, there's something about no going back. I'm hearing to lesser versions of love. No going back. And that starts with yourself, where you have held maybe a low bar, or you haven't had standards, or you haven't thought you could create that, or that you were enough, or that maybe it's about your creativity and your light and what you want to move through in this lifetime. And there's something about this stationing retrograde that the universe really wants you to understand. You can have better. You can have more love. You can have more creativity and more joy and inspiration and happiness. But, you know, this is the fine print. These are the terms and conditions. Okay? What have you really understood about your journey? How have you grown spiritually through relationships, partnerships, connections? And really pay attention to the new commitments you're willing to make to yourself about raising the bar, knowing that you're worth it, knowing you can manifest it, knowing you can create it, and allow that to be your reprogramming. And perhaps even, again, the heart algorithm, where you're understanding that you've learned a lot about what it means to be yourself in the world. And I feel like it's like, don't deny who you are, what you want, what you need. Venus in Leo is strong. You know, she's direct. She owns it. She's brave. So be brave enough to require more. Be brave enough to require more of yourself, to learn from where you've been, to be in your power, to not give that away for the sake of anything that you've compromised before. And so that's why I feel like this stationing retrograde has a lot of energy in it. And then she's going to go backwards, and she's going to have some more interactions with this Uranus and Taurus, and with Chiron and Aries. And she's going to also again reconnect with Jupiter and the nodes. So she's going to be quite active during this retrograde. I just feel like it's a leveling up. It's a leveling up. I've also been feeling intuitively, like those of you who are looking or wanting for your partner, your your divine partner, your divine counterpart, your equal. Even if you're in a relationship, I feel like this Venus retrograde is going to support that. I feel like it's going to actually activate more love, open more hearts, both feminine hearts and masculine hearts. It's not going to be as brutal as that last Venus retrograde in Capricorn. Rather, it's going to help you get clearer on what you want, what you need, what you require, and then go forward from there. So, just a few thoughts to share with you, to offer, and to put it out there. So as always, thank you for connecting with me here on my YouTube channel. I'll be back with another video soon, and I hope this helps you make the most of the Venus retrograde energies.